Before, after.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. All right. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Hi.
Someone recently told me that my TikToks were too long and that's why I'm not getting more followers. So from now on.
Oops, I accidentally created a false reality.
Oh no! There's Melanie. That's a shame, she was really nice. It's like a reward.
Dude, I'm getting my personality back though. Like I'm feeling like myself again.
Yeah, I know.
I really was not myself.
I'm in a field of dandelions, wishing on everyone that you'll be mine.
It's a full-time job, and it's extremely time-consuming, and it's not as easy as it may appear to some people.
I'm still worthy.
New trend for TikTok artists. Show a work you never finished and don't explain any of it. Here's mine.
Not in bed.
That's
I
a
am
bed.
in my office.
That's a
This
bed.
is the office. The time here is 3 o'clock. This is office hours.
Hey, if you like me as an artist, would you mind sharing my videos? You don't even actually need to send it to someone. You can just hit like copy link and the algorithm will be like, oh, this guy's a winner.
Okay, so this is what it looks like without the sticker, and then if I put it on, that's what it looks like. So, what do you think?
Oboe, piccolo, tuba, dobro, slide whistle, yodeling, hurdy-gurdy, ocarina, harmonium, musical song. You know what? This has been great, but a complete waste of time.
Hey,
Yes,
what are you doing?
I'm working.
It doesn't look like you're working.
I'm working.
Are you sure?
I promise you I'm working.
Just a reminder to not let the algorithm dictate how you feel about your creative side, because it's just software. And sometimes good content doesn't go viral, so it's okay.
We now interrupt your doom scrolling to bring you this.
Having an art business is so unpredictable because there'll be like an item that I think is going to be a bestseller, but actually it turns out to be something else completely. Like I totally thought it was going to be this one, turned out to be this one.
Oh, look at the time. It's time to create content that absolutely nobody is going to see.
blessing to be busy. Even if it's one order, you take that one order and treat it like it was 1,000. You're only preparing yourself for what the future may bring. And good customer service, that's what it's all about. Keep pushing.
Well, I probably never should have gotten these watercolor paints because now I'm creating stuff that I really like, but I'm scared to add it to my shop because everything else is digital and I want my shop to look cohesive and I don't know what to do.
Decided not to renovate. I think the ceiling's high.
I just got a huge shipment of a bunch of a new product that I'm working on. I'm still trying to figure out the design I want to put on them, but they're these little hotel keychains. I hope they do well because I have a lot of them.
Let's restock some of my brass lobster crust.
You mean like this? The picture I was referencing didn't have any foam at the shoreline, so it didn't even cross my mind, honestly. So thank you for pointing that out. I think it looks a lot better.
Shouldn't cry. Stop shouldn't cry. Stop
I don't know if you knew this, but TikTok doesn't actually allow small creators and artists to put their shop in their bio until they reach 1,000 followers. So please know that the creator using this sound right now appreciates you so much just for being here, just for watching, and possibly even for following along if you like their work.
How to make your own maze game using a cardboard box. The first thing I did was got the lid of a shoebox and cut out 2 holes like this on the ends. And then I drew out the maze pattern I wanted. I used mini pop tubes, but you can also use plastic straws. And start gluing them on the maze. And then all you need is some sort of ball. I used a bouncy ball.
Good morning. So I got sick and I haven't had the energy to create decent content, and I ran out of drafts, so I painted these. They're little mushrooms. You see them? Do you like them? Okay. Bruh, that's a vibe.
As an artist, I spend about 95% of the time thinking that I will never be good enough and I will never make it. Make it where? I don't know. What does that even mean? And then the other 5% of the time, I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I can't believe I created this. Absolute masterpiece. Never been better.
How to paint rocks like this. First, you want to pick out your paints and layer them in a dish. Once you've layered your paint, pour it onto your rock. Once you've poured it all on the rock, grab a straw and blow it. And that's how to paint a cool rock.
Let's pack a quick order for my mom. She ordered 6 stickers and I threw in a couple freebies, of course. She was the very first customer on my brand new website, which launched just a few days ago. She must have been sitting there waiting because the order came through within minutes of launching. I totally didn't have to pack this up because I could have just handed it to her, but she deserves something cute. So thank you for your order, Mom, and for being my biggest supporter.
Dreams the way you are in all of mine. You got a love so fine. I wish that I could make you mine. Won't you sit down? You know I love you, honey, and you look so tired.
Too many people are trying to create content when they just need to be the content. Just be the content. Then you don't need time to make it because you're being you all day long, so you might as well film it. So you become the content and you have enough confidence to put it out there, not fearing other people's judgment, because what other people think of you shouldn't matter unless you don't think enough of yourself. Then if you're the content, that's the start of it.
Cloud putty with only 3 ingredients. First, add a cup of flour, a cup of cornstarch, and a cup of conditioner. And I added some dye, which is optional. Mix it until it turns into this soft dough texture.
If TikTok has taught me anything about the economy, it's that there is a much larger demand for stickers than I ever would have imagined. Did y'all all know about this? Did y'all all know about the sticker thing? Because I don't even own a sticker. Stickers.
when I started recording this video, I kept my music playing in the background because I didn't think I would need the original audio, and then I started editing the video, and the little sound that my tool here is making was pretty satisfying, but oh well, we don't get that this time. But anyway, so when I first got this pad, I would remove the paper from the pad before I started painting on it. But then I realized that keeping it on would be a really good way for me to actually finish the painting if I would just remove it afterwards. And now I can use the page under. I recently got in a shipment of my first ever greeting cards that I've ever designed. Since autumn is coming up, I decided to do some pumpkins. They're kind of like in a watercolor style with sage green and like neutral tones. I did these as a pre-order at first because I had no idea how greeting cards were going to do, and honestly they did not do good at all. I did not want to waste shipping just to buy a few, so I ordered a few extras and I'm going to have them on my website soon. Hopefully they sell because it was money. So yesterday we took a special trip. We drove 3 hours to Birmingham to pick up a really fancy printer, but the drive was totally worth it though because I saved a ton of money. But there we've got it. And while we were there, we found gluten-free battered fish. Like what? Anyways, this thing is massive. Like that's my hand right there. My dog was kind of freaked out by like the clicking sounds that it was making. But the printer was pretty dusty, so I cleaned it off with my little desktop vacuum, but stay tuned to see how it prints. Opening and testing out the Uniball Signo UM153. I actually had a white ink pen before this, but it was by Jelly Roll and I hated it. It did not go into paper that well. But after testing out the Signo, it seems to be rolling on pretty smoothly. So let's try to finish this painting I started. I attempted to do the fine details on this sign right here. I was able to do the box just fine, but I really struggled with the bike and the words, so if you want to do much finer details, I think you need a much finer point. Otherwise, for what it is, I would give these an 8 out of 10 at least. I need somewhere to hang the lovely art that I buy from small businesses, so we're gonna hang up a small business board right here by my craft shelves in my office. So I just attached some picture hanging command strips to these cork boards, which I've actually just had sitting in my closet for a while, not really knowing what to do with them. But so I'm gonna put it right here in my office, which is like right behind my desk, so I can see it pretty often. Right here, I'm just trying to figure out if I should connect them or not. Yeah, we're not connecting them. That looks pretty good. We're gonna start with my own small business thing. It's this little enamel pin I designed, and voila, can't wait to fill this up.
So I picked up this cute wicker piece off Facebook Marketplace some time back, and I decided it was the perfect size for a good photo setup, which I desperately needed. But the top surface was covered in marks and scratches I couldn't get off. So I pulled out this white wood grain contact paper I got from my old desk, which I ended up replacing before I got around to applying it. There was some water damage on the paper backing, but thankfully it wasn't visible once applied. The wood grain is hard to pick up on with the camera, but I think it's got just the perfect amount of subtle texture without being just a flat white surface. I used this poster board as a background, and then I had a good clean setup in the brightest area of my house. Here's how a few photos turned out.
How to make your own maze game using a cardboard box. The first thing I did was got the lid of a shoebox and cut out 2 holes like this on the ends. And then I drew out the maze pattern I wanted. I used mini pop tubes, but you can also use plastic straws. And start gluing them on the maze. And then all you need is some sort of ball. I used a bouncy ball.
So honestly, this is actually the very first painting that I've ever used masking fluid for. I only just started watercolor in July, I believe it was. So I haven't had a ton of time to explore different products. But this is what it was. The Winsor & Newton masking fluid, and honestly I don't think I will go looking for anything else because it just works so well. So I don't have anything to compare it to, but I just know that I like this. As you can see, it's coming off pretty clean. It's not pulling up any of the paper with it. It also went on really smoothly as well, and this was the final result.
How to paint rocks like this. First you want to pick out your paints and layer them in a dish. Once you've layered your paint, pour it onto your rock. Once you've poured it all on the rock, grab a straw and blow it. And that's how to paint a cool rock.
You know what? Shout out to the creators who are doing everything they can to be seen on both TikTok and Instagram and maybe even other platforms. Because I tell you what, it is hard. The algorithms for these apps are completely unique from each other. And TikTok users aren't always there to see what Instagram users want to see and vice versa. Some content that goes viral on TikTok just simply isn't going to go viral on Instagram. And it's really hard to please both audiences because sometimes you can't always just download a TikTok and upload it to Instagram because different types of content perform differently depending on what platform they're on. So anyways, if this is you, kudos for trying to keep up with it all, and also I'm praying for you.
How to make cloud putty with only 3 ingredients. First, add a cup of flour, a cup of cornstarch, and a cup of conditioner. And I added some dye, which is optional. Mix it until it turns into this soft dough texture.
I don't really wanna say, I don't really wanna be well if I'm be there to find heavy porcelain tray, all the sacraments weed in the line, I feed them for night, decided not to renovate.
So where are my artists that struggle with perfectionism while you're trying to draw nature? So while I was drawing this mushroom, I was trying really hard to resist the urge to put like a spot, you know, just perfectly right smack dab between two other spots. I had to remember that some spots need to go really close to other spots, and then other spots are supposed to be further apart. And I had to remember that they were different shapes, different sizes, because nature is random. Nature is not perfect most of the time, and it's really hard for me to remember that while I'm drawing nature. So when I am doing that, I just have to shut down all sense of perfectionism, and let me tell you, it's not easy. You know what? Shout out to the creators who are doing everything they can to be seen on both TikTok and Instagram, and maybe even other platforms. Because I tell you what, it is hard. The algorithms for these apps are completely unique from each other. And TikTok users aren't always there to see what Instagram users want to see, and vice versa. Some content that goes viral on TikTok just simply isn't going to go viral on Instagram. And it's really hard to please both audiences, because sometimes you can't always just download a TikTok and upload it to Instagram, because different types of content perform differently depending on what platform they're on. So anyways, if this is you, kudos for trying to keep up with it all, and also I'm praying for you. Okay, so this is the original turtle that I drew on my iPad. Let's turn down the brightness because I don't know, that affects things. And then this is the sticker. So honestly, it's not exact. This is what it looks like with the flash on for a little bit more light. I feel like the original is slightly more saturated, but I was like, I mean, if you're not looking at the original and that's all you see, I think it looks pretty good. Here's another one, and this is the sticker with flash. And let's do one more. This is the original, and then sticker with flash on. So honestly, I think they're pretty darn close. Did you know that you can multiply your snake plant leaves by cutting up one leaf however many times you want, and babies will come out of the bottom of every single segment? And this is proof right there. That's exactly what I did. You can see this doesn't have a tip because I propagated the tip of this as well, and babies came out of the bottom of that. But babies are also coming out of the bottom of this one right here. There they are right there. So yeah, you can literally like multiply your snake plant leaves as many times as you want just by cutting up one leaf. Also, can someone tell me like what's up with these? Like, hello? Like, this wasn't even facing a window. It was like the opposite, and it's leaning this way. Like, what? So I got this custom stamp with my website on it, so let's test it out and see how it does. I thought I was being eco-friendly by using this Rolo label, but it's not the right material. So I dug this out of my trash can, and it actually printed a lot better. The reason I got these is because they don't have my website on them. I literally ordered like 500 of these business cards just a matter of months before I got my website. This first one printed pretty good. The second one printed pretty good, but then I don't know if I was nervous or something, but like they started to kind of get like not great. Like this one is kind of a little overstamped, that one's understamped, and this one looks just fine. So I don't know, maybe like 7 out of 10.